This is such a self-inflicted wound, and the market doesn't seem to be, well, forgiving them for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really was a dismal quarter for Snap. And even before it reported its earnings, I was saying that it wasn't looking great for the company. And that had less to do with the economic uncertainty and tariffs, which of course it had warned about at the end of Q1, and more to do with foundational structural issues within its ad platform and its ability to monetize. Now, I obviously could not have predicted that it would have an ad glitch in Q2 that would result in the deceleration in growth, but I think that really does point to these longer term, more deeper challenges that it has within its business model. I do think in a different context, investors might have been just a little bit more forgiving, though probably not much more forgiving because they tend to be with Snap. But Snap has been working very hard for quite some time on revamping its ad platform, focused really on direct response. And I think they're getting frustrated. They're getting impatient because the results, while sometimes there's progress, it's mostly been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And then if you take the larger context of Meta and Reddit's blowout earnings for Q2, it makes it really hard for Snap to shift responsibility to macro conditions or headwinds and leaves very little room for mistakes.
I mean, well said. Where they consistently deliver is daily active users, unless we forget there's almost 500 million of them. But what's interesting is they're trying to move away, perhaps from the more volatile ad side of it, to subscription. Is that working?
Well, Snapchat Plus has been and continues to be a bright spot for Snap. And one of the things that says to me is that while Snap still struggles to roll out features for advertisers that they like and need, they certainly know how to bring features to consumers that they like and that they're willing to pay for. I do think going forward, diversification of its revenue streams in general is just going to be so much more important for Snap, and Snapchat Plus continues to drive a lot of its revenue growth, especially considering the fact that while its monthly active user base showed really strong signs of progress in terms of getting toward that $1 billion or 1 billion user goal that it has, we saw a lot of weakness in North America, which is Snap's core market, and where it makes most of its money. And that also means then that Snap is going to be more reliant on international markets going forward to monetize via ads. And that's extremely challenging, or more challenging, because it's harder to make money there. And again, the weakness in North America points to structural problems.
Jasmine, just real quick, I appreciate what you said about the response investors have to Snap sometimes. Like, I just always remember it either going up a lot or down a lot. But that speaks to lack of consistency. Like Meta showed us that all the stuff they've done around AI shores up the core bread and butter business. Is Snap not experiencing something similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think Meta showed us that you can spend a lot of money on AI if your core business is doing well, and it truly is. I mean, Meta is a powerhouse. It continues to deliver on efficiency and effectiveness for advertisers. Snap has been playing catch up to Meta in many ways, including in AI. It doesn't have the same scale and resources that Meta has to build this powerhouse AI-driven ad business, but it certainly needs to do more work there. One thing I will say for Snap, though, is we saw an increase in SMB advertising, small and medium-sized businesses, and I do think that is a direct result of its investments in AI in its ad platform, because these advertisers are generally drawn to places where it's easy to advertise, and that's one of the impacts that AI has on advertising on these platforms.